The year of the fire horse is on its way, but are you ready? What I'm really excited about in 2026 is that the Chinese year of the fire horse begins around mid-February. And one of the key words that pops out around the year of the fire horse is freedom. Now, it can mean other things too, potentially big shifts and changes, maybe some burning of old things, but certainly it has a energy of speed and breakthrough. And for many people, travel, including me, strangely enough. So what I want to do today is I want to make sure that you're really ready for that, because freedom is a word that it's in all my coaching. I speak mostly about food freedom, but if you're here today with any challenge or anything that it feels a bit heavy or you want to shed, you want to get rid of, this is the place to do that as you prepare yourself for 2026. Because the worst thing you can do is go into a year like a fire horse year without clarity. Because one of the other big key themes in a fire horse here is courage. And that means there's going to be challenges along the way. And without any clear clarity about where you're headed or what you truly would like to squeeze out of the year ahead, there's a good chance you're not going to get there. Clarity is everything. You know, they say if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. And oftentimes when I meet people for the first time, when we're talking about food freedom, and I say, paint me a picture of what that means to you. What I often notice is people can tell me very clearly, very eloquently, what they don't want, what they want their future to not look like. But it can be difficult to get really clear on what you do want, what freedom does mean to you. And we're going to get so much clarity today. So I'm going to walk you through a little end of year ritual that I do almost every year, usually warming up for this around November, and I always do it either on New Year's Eve or close enough, usually the first couple of days in January. But we're going to do it today. And you might want to grab a pen and paper, stop this video. And please, if you're watching live, I really want to encourage you. I'm just going to make sure I can see the comments as we work through the exercise. Share with me what's coming up for you if you'd like to, or even just for a little bit of accountability to the universe. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back in time to a year ago. We're going to take you to the present moment, and then we're going to take you to a year in the future. And you're going to come away with real clarity on what you would really like to see for yourself. This isn't goal setting so much. We're not so interested in exact, precise, number-based metrics. It's not about that. You'll see as we go. I don't want to give it away now, but we're going to get some real clarity. And when you have that clarity, I'm going to give you a ritual that I would insist and highly recommend that you do every day. I would say in the morning when it's nice and quiet, before the world gets busy, before you can put it off. We're going to call it a Freedom 5. And I'm going to give you a little ritual to do once you have that clarity that I would love you to do right up until the first day of the year of the fire horse. Now, if you do it for 21 days, that's a good start, but this should give you a bit more. What's that? Almost double that, right? And there's no doubt in my mind that if you were to repeat this ritual as you go into the year of the fire horse, that by the end of the year, you will be looking back and there will be moments of what we're going to do right now that you'll realize have manifested. So it's really important to have clarity, because without clarity, you ain't going nowhere but staying stuck in the same place. And if we've got all this energetic fire horse goodness coming at us, let's make the most of it and get prepared for what's coming. So grab your pen and papers. Let's take a nice deep breath. And I would love you to take yourself back in time to 1 year ago. It might be quite difficult to remember where you are, where you were, or what was going on for you a year ago. So what's that? 29th of December, 2024. Can you remember what that was like? What that experience of being you in 2024 was like? There are probably some good things about it. There are probably some less good things about it. So just take a moment to remember where you were a year ago. And now bring yourself forward to now. And what I'd love you to do is just jot down. It can just be words that are coming to you. What has changed in the last year? There could be good changes. There might be painful changes. There might be struggles. But what shifts have you noticed, both positive and negative? And what has changed for you in the past year? So quickly jot those down. If you're watching this in the replay, I'd encourage you to pause this. You might even want to put on some music as you do this work to really let the memories come in as you try and remember what the hell it was you got up to in 2025. It's a really important thing as we move through life to take moments to pause and reflect. And I'll bet that you notice as you reflect on the last year that there are some real positive things that have happened for you, or there were some really challenging moments that you just survived. And maybe you're yet to find what growth or opportunity will come for you out of those moments, because there's always opportunity for growth. In fact, challenge demands it. Sometimes it doesn't work out so well if we start medicating with food or alcohol or whatever the case may be. But I'd bet that just the fact that you've made it through some challenge or some crisis alone is something that you could right now feel really proud of. And if you've done some really big, exciting things, or even not big, but other things you can be really proud of, jot those down too. It's really important to catch ourselves and go, hey, let's have a look at this year that's just passed. So that's a little moment where you can look at the year in review, in your rear view. I like that. And I think it's a really cool thing to do, no matter what's happened for you that year, just to track it. And when you're ready, let's take you a year from today. So it's the 29th of December, 2026. Maybe you already got some feelings coming up for you around that. Maybe there's some fear or some excitement, or maybe you're just feeling neutral, just as you think a year ahead. But now what I'd love you to do is I would love you to imagine that I'm live again in a year from now, and you're watching the live. You're doing the same exercise with me again. But I'd love for you to imagine that if freedom is the word, is the focus for you this year, what that would mean for you if everything that you could dream about has come true around that word of freedom. This can be food freedom. It might be a career freedom. It might be a relationship freedom, or a freedom of sexuality. I don't know. It could be a financial freedom. What does it mean for you? And get as clear as you can and dream big, baby. Do not hold back. Do not limit yourself by what might feel realistic or possible or even probable. This is the time to allow that energy of your heart, which is the energy of the fire horse, to really tell you what it deeply wants. Just hear that lovely whisper that says, oh. So for me, when it came to food freedom, what I heard is, I did an exercise very similar to this, is I just want to eat when I'm hungry, stop when I'm full, and stop worrying about it in between. That's how simple and clear that voice was. But I hadn't recognized that that's what I wanted for myself, because I didn't think it was possible up until that moment. But when I finally gave myself permission to want what my heart truly wanted, for you, it might be the career, the relationship, the money, whatever, the clothes, I don't care. You have your dream, and it's been nagging at you and banging at your door for a long time. So really allow yourself to want it right now. And then what I'd love you to do, so jot down a few things about what that would mean for you. Not what is it not, but what is it for? So it's not, I don't want to experience food noise. Oh, well, I want to have peace between meals. I want to be able to easily stop when I'm full. I want to be able to buy my favorite car. I want to feel safe with a roof over my head. I want to be in a relationship where I can be expressive. I want to feel loved. I want to feel cared for. What do you want? What is your heart screaming for? Doesn't matter what it is. Who cares what everybody else thinks? It's your dream. And this is the important part. With a bit of that in mind, I'd love you to go inside and truly feel what it would feel like in a year from now if that was true for you. So take yourself into that place, really pretend that you're there, and feel what that feels like. If there's a word for what you're feeling right now, please write it down. Maybe peace, clarity, excitement, joy, relief, liberation. Whatever it is, connect with that feeling and just notice how it feels, and notice what your body's doing in this moment. Notice what your nervous system is doing. Is it elevated? Is your heart racing? Or is it quiet and calm and comfortable? Just notice. There's no right or wrong here. And now that you've got that feeling inside your body, let's ask your nervous system a very simple little question. Well, let's just ask you a very simple question. What would stop you? Assuming there was a way, and assuming you were finding it, and assuming the universe was giving you exactly what you needed, and you were on exactly the right path, and you had all the tools and all the support that you needed to achieve that feeling, what could stop you? What could stop you? It might be a person, it might be belief, it might be both, it might be a situation. Because the minute we give ourselves permission to dream, the next thing that happens, once we allow ourselves that permission to have the dream that we really want to dream, suddenly fear rushes in and it tells us all the reasons why we can't have it. And I bet you've just heard some. And maybe it's, I couldn't bear to fail, or I'm worried that I don't have the discipline, or I'm afraid to try, or what will people think? Or, I don't know. Or maybe there's actually somebody in your life who could actually be holding you back from experiencing your dream. This can be quite uncomfortable as you notice what could potentially block you. But more often than not, the blocks are within us. More often than not, it might be fear, or it might be, it's usually fear. It's usually fear of failure, or a fear of it not happening, or a fear of not showing up for yourself, or sabotage, or something of that nature. So just notice where you felt resistance. If you had the perfect plan, the perfect support team, what could stop you? And if you've just heard, absolutely nothing could stop me, Helen, I'm ready to go, awesome. Regardless of what you heard, I'm going to ask you one more question before we continue. You've got a clear feeling and a vision of what a year from now could look like for you if all of your dreams come true. You've got clarity on what obstacles could be in the way. Maybe they're none. Maybe you've got a few. And now I just want to ask you one simple question. And this is in the spirit of the year of the snake, which is the year of shedding. What do you need to let go of in order for this vision of yours to manifest? Is there something you need to put down? Is there something you need to walk away from? Is there a belief you need to let go of? I'm not enough. It can't happen for me. It's impossible. It's unrealistic. What would you need to let go of? What do you choose to let go of? Shed in order for that to happen. Let's do the snake work now. And remember, the year of the horse only starts in February. So you still have a few weeks now, month and a half, to really do this as many times as it takes to get this clarity. If you're not getting it right now, that's fine. But hopefully you're starting to get some big awareness. So what do you need to let go of? All right. Now, the important thing about this work is you don't have to have a 10-point plan. You don't have to have the whole program all laid out for you. You don't need to have any of that yet. There's only one thing that I would love to insist big, plead with you to do religiously for at least 21 days, but ideally right up until the 17th of February. And that's your Freedom 5, which is as simple as this. Every morning when you wake up, no matter what you're feeling, when you wake up, no matter what your physical reality is showing you, I'd love you to take 5 minutes to tune in to that vision. And most importantly, to the feeling you get when you imagine that wish has been fulfilled for you, that thing that you want is manifested. Tune into that, see it, paint it, hear it, smell it, taste it, walk through a 5-minute vision for yourself. It can be as simple, say, let's say if we were working with food freedom and that was the core thing you wanted to focus on this year, because you know that your relationship with food is messing up every part of your life. And you were so dedicated to this that you really, really want to break free with all of this food noise bollocks, right? And obsession and compulsion. Then I would be saying to you, right, find a moment in your day. Maybe it's every day when you come home at 5 or 6 p.m. and you notice that that is the time where you feel the most out of control, or it's on a weekend, whatever it is, pick a moment. And I would love you to imagine yourself a year from now in that place of freedom and feel what it is. Walk yourself through that moment and feel it the whole way. Feel the power of knowing that there's no compulsion. Feel the freedom of that. Feel what it is to be able to feel meh around the snacks that are on the table. Feel, witness, imagine, get into the vision of what it is to be able to make a meal without nibbling and nibbling and nibbling and then being full by the time you hit the table. Walk yourself through the entire picture. Now, that would be a food freedom vision, but of course, yours could be completely different. It would be around the thing that we were just talking about. But get so clear. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? How does it feel to be free in whatever way freedom means for you? Spend 5 minutes every day, non-negotiable. Sit with yourself until you can fully walk through that feeling and that vision. And there'll be days when it's hard because your physical reality will be going, nope, not going to happen. Nope, look at you. And your headworms will be going crazy, telling you all the stories about why you're never going to get there. This is never going to happen for you. And it doesn't matter. You stay with it until you can feel it. And as soon as you got that feeling, you're good to go. Now, that feeling some days will be easy. You can access it. It feels so possible. You feel, oh, yeah, I'm on my way. This is so real for me. This is going to happen. And there'll be days where it just feels so hard to access it. But do it anyway. And here's the thing. When we do this work, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? One, clarity, because if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. If you're getting clear with yourself about what you want, you're more likely to see all the doors that are opening to try and show you how to get it. It also means you're more likely to take action. But most importantly, and this is going to sound so woo-woo, next year is a year one. To some people, they call it a year of new beginnings. I've also heard it called a year 10, which is interesting because it's co-creation. Now, why is that important? Because, and this is physics, my friends, and it blows my mind, but we are co-creating our reality all the time with what's coming up inside us. And we can call it the universe, God, energy, whatever. But that is the way, this is law. This is not something we can stop from happening. We don't even have to believe it. It's happening. And there's so many experiments to show this, but how interesting that we are co-creators of our reality. And this ability to tie into your energetic blueprint for where you're headed would appear to be the single best tool you can put in your toolkit to bring that manifestation towards you faster than if you weren't doing this. Now, you could do it anyway, but I can't tell you the number of times I've had such clarity on something I deeply cared about and wanted, usually for business, but food freedom was the same for me, right? That clarity is one, but feeling it is another. Feeling what freedom feels like, to not have that compulsion, to be able to just eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, and not worry about it, to feel that in my nervous system. And that, I believe, because I've experienced it, and also physics would say that it's true, brought the tools and the skills and the support that I needed through that co-creation between my vision, my feeling it, my energetic blueprint, and then the universe delivering. And that's what it does. It's woo-woo, I know, but this is the way it is. I think it's metaphysics or quantum physics. I don't even care. It seems to be that there is this interaction between our perceptions, and particularly our feelings, and the physical world. So do that dream for yourself, no matter how silly it seems and how many days you wake up and think it's never going to happen. And you will be amazed as a year from now, you go, oh my goodness, this has definitely changed. I've had moments of that for sure. And maybe this one still needs a bit of work. But once you can tell that it's possible that you can start achieving something, oh, you're so much more likely to keep working, right? Because let's be honest, our freedom dreams are probably not a one-year fix. We're probably not going to be all the way to every part of that dream in a year's time, because the timeline doesn't actually matter. It's the vision that matters and your commitment to the vision that matters. And then we have to let go, try to control how it manifests. And I need to work on that because I'm a bit of a controller, and I bet you are too, because if you're eating, you're probably somebody who likes to feel in control. And food might be one of those ways that you feel in control, weirdly, but also out of control at the same time. But oddly, if you can just say, well, I'm going to suspend my disbelief and I'm going to trust in this rule of the universe that if I can feel it, envision it, then it is on its way. It might even already be here, you just can't see it yet. Then you'll get there. And how it'll show up is you'll forget you've done this exercise with me. And the next thing, you'll be in that kind of experience, and it'll be like a deja vu of sorts where you go, oh, that's exactly what I imagined. And maybe it's fleeting and it's gone. Or maybe you sit and savor that. But you know that you trained yourself for that moment because you're there. Another thing I want to say as we wrap up here is freedom is not something that necessarily comes in a big whoosh, although apparently with the year of the fire horse, that's quite possible, that it's quite fast, that things change quite quickly, that you're probably going to need a lot of courage as you do the work to head towards your freedom vision, whatever that looks like for you. But it can show up in the tiny micro moments. It can show up that moment when maybe, let's say, financial freedom is your goal. You've got this big vision for what that means for you. Awesome. Dream it, baby. Dream it. But now you're in the supermarket and you're paying for your vegetables or whatever it is you support, doesn't matter, your food. And then you catch yourself and you think, oh my God, this is freedom. I didn't worry about that purchase. This is what freedom feels like. So it can show up in the micro ways. Savor them. It'll be the same with food. It'll be that moment that you put down the chocolate and you go, oh my God, I just put the chocolate down. That's freedom. It's the moments that up to the big shifts that create the new way of being. And because these moments can be quite small, you can forget that things used to be different. And I'll bet there are things that you have in your life right now that you used to dream about. And now they're your reality. And so this is no different. So we've got to suspend all the, it's not possible. It may not be probable, but everything is possible. Right? And then we just got to try our best to be unattached to the timeline. So I know that I gave you a year because I needed you to anchor into something, but your vision will manifest so long as you keep on working towards it and doing the work of feeling the feeling and then walking through the doors that open up for you. Okay. Or the redirections, as something doesn't work, it's a redirection, but stay committed to the vision. You know, another way of thinking about this is like sailing. If you don't know where you're going, you're just floating around in the ocean, good luck. But if you have a clear direction, a clear port, the how you get there, you'll go through storms, you'll go through calm days, no breeze days, too much breeze, right? But you'll get there. Just have that clarity of where you're headed and try and let go of how long it takes and how. Because often the things that are the most challenging, where you're going to need the most courage this year, will actually be the things that in retrospect you'll look back and go, oh, that was the breakthrough. Okay, so you've got your 5-minute Freedom 5 virtual every morning. Please do it. If you prefer to do this in the evening, great. Just make it a non-negotiable for you and try not to do anything else until this is done. Get to the feeling. Once you're at the feeling, you're golden. So it's the year of the fire horse. I'm really excited because freedom is the big word in my coaching. And I love this kind of work where we're designing and feeling our way into the things we would like for ourselves. And you know what? Your heart is begging for this. And it's been begging you for a while. Give yourself permission to dream. Really enjoy that feeling. And then do your best to walk through the doors as they open. And if you experience challenge, just remember it's redirection. And look to see what else or what you need to learn. Maybe it's trying to give you something to learn from. If food freedom is something you really want to focus on, if you're saying to yourself, there's no more important thing for me in my life right now than to change my relationship with food from one of compulsion, etc., into one of freedom, then I'm your girl. You know, connect with me. There's loads of links below this. You can click on all the links and get your freebies and do whatever you need to do to explore this work. Let's find out what that might look like for you. If your freedom journey is about other things and there's a little whisper for you now about what support would help you along that journey, start investigating, start reaching out. Nothing is done in life without support and usually a whole pile of accountability, but support for sure. And so that's all I'm going to say about that. Let's wrap up this beautiful year. It's so lovely to see so many people joining me today. So I didn't even notice there was quite a few people on live because I was so invested in this. But I do love this work. It's an annual ritual. If you're in the Food Freedom Foundation's community, we will be doing it tomorrow afternoon, a support call. So please jump in there and join us. And other than that, I just want to wish you an absolutely beautiful new year. Set your intentions, get clarity on your vision, and give yourself the gift of allowing yourself to dream and feel into it every morning for 5 minutes. And I have no doubt in my mind that you will be looking back in a year's time and you will notice that things have changed for you in the most unexpected and surprising ways. So look forward to chatting to you in a year's time when we do the same thing again. And we'll find out what the new animal is. And we'll be prepared for that. All right, lovelies. Have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's Eve. Stay present. Savor those moments with friends and family. Make sure you get some deep rest before the year kicks off again. I think it's going to be a busy one. I think it could be a very challenging one, but I think it's going to be so exciting. And with this energy behind us and this commitment, let's ride that wave, baby. Let's ride that fire horse all the way to freedom. All right, lovelies. Have a beautiful Monday further. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the new year.